Welcome, everyone, to the weekly rocker skating podcast. And this is the news of the week for the week of September 15th to September 21st. Let's start, Michelle, with injuries. We got some injury things going on over the past week that were reported. And it will have, both of those actually will have consequences on the American men's Olympic field. And so I hate to say it's not a surprise that Luca Broussard is again injured. He seems to just have the worst luck with injuries, and he was such a strong junior, and he had such promise going into seniors, but he just cannot get a break.
Yeah. He's had a rough couple of years on the senior level. And this is his last season, allegedly, that he's going to be competing. So I really hope we get to see him at some point this year.
At some point, somehow, yeah. So that's Luca Broussard. And then Camden Pulkinen, we haven't really seen much from him at all. And so he announced that he has been injured and is now out of Nepala Trophy. And so, he's been working for this season for an entire quad, and he's been generally injury-free over the past few seasons, and this is really the wrong time for him to be getting something here. And he said, I think he mentioned a long recovery time on his Instagram post.
Well, on the plus side, maybe it'll be a good distraction for Camden because he seems to skate his best when last-minute surprising things occur before he goes out to skate. So I'm going to look at it through a positive lens.
I know, Michelle, glass half full. Usually that's not how you think about things.
Camden thrives in chaos.
Yep. Camden is the Calmira of U.S. figure skating. So those were the two big injury news that we saw over the past week. We will talk about Chinese Nebelhorn in all its glory, but one of the things that came out also was that Asaf Kazimov got his Spanish citizenship, and of course Val and Kazimov ended up getting an Olympic spot, the second Olympic spot for the Spanish pairs, yeah.
Dance.
That's what I'm talking about. Spanish dance.
Yeah.
I was like, I confirmed it with myself that they were pairs too. I was like, what? So Spanish dance
dancers.
Yeah, pair of dancers got 2 spots, and so Kazimov got citizenship, and then Tim Deke also got Spanish citizenship.
Very exciting.
Hablan español,
yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, we'll see them. Smart and Deke, I believe they're at Nebelhorn next week, so we'll get to see their new programs, Dune Part 2.
Excited to see Part 2. Let's see if it lives up to Part 1 and all the glory that was that program. So that's another a couple of pieces of news there. And we're going to cover here Japan regionals. And the reason we talk about regionals for Japan is because there are so many good skaters that actually have to go through regionals because of either because they want the extra practice or because they are not automatically buyed to either sectionals or to nationals. And so there's actually a lot of generally very exciting skating in the regional competitions. So let's start with actually Chubu regionals, which was the second of the 2 to finish. We had Tokyo and Chubu. Is that true? Yeah, it is true. Chubu was the last one to finish. And so the Chubu regionals was won by Sote Yamamoto in a fairly small field. It was just four skaters there. But what was nice about that free skate for him was that he actually did a clean free skate, more or less. There was a Q on a triple axel, but skated very well, watered down to one quad because he was having problems with, I think, his back. And so took out the quad sow, but skated a very strong program. 246.80 was his winning score, which was 85 points over the rest of the field.
Wow.
So, yeah, so, this is one of those regionals that was, exactly, it was not a particularly competitive regionals and gave Sota Yamamoto a little bit of breathing room and a little
Mm-hmm.
bit more practice. On the women's side, this was competitive, especially among the top two. Rino Matsuike, after her last competition where she didn't do terribly well, ended up winning this one over Mako Yamashita.
Mm-hmm.
So 194.39 for Matsuike and
Wow.
then 190.73 for Yamashita. And we know, and you and I have talked about this, Michelle, that Japanese regionals does not inflate scores.
Mm-mm.
Like
Mm-mm.
these scores are what you would probably expect to
Yeah.
see on an international stage, and so for them to both of them to hit 190 plus means
They
that
laid it down.
they both skated very well.
Those two
Um,
girls are heartbreakers. They both of
oh,
them. I
totally,
mean, if they could just
totally,
jump cleanly in competition, the two of them would be so competitive. And you never know when they're going to lay it down, but
yeah,
sometimes they do.
exactly. They're just going to be a surprise for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the thing. Reno, more or less a clean free skate, a step out on a loop, a couple under rotations and cues, and then messed up the triple Salchow at the end. So,
Mm-hmm.
had she skated cleanly, she would have been 200 plus, no
Mm-hmm.
problem, which would be very well deserved.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mako Yamashita started off less strong on the short and then had a very strong free skate and actually won the free skate over Reno. So that's Chubu Regionals. Tokyo Regionals was the other one. And that one also very competitive. This was the one that Rika Kihira was supposed to be at, and she ended up withdrawing. I don't know if we talked about this last week, but
Mm-mm.
she had a post come up, or she posted that she was basically still not ready to be doing multiple toe jumps without
Mm-hmm.
pain, and so thought it best to go back to Canada, train, and continue to recover. Talk about heartbreaker, another one. I mean,
Yeah.
it's been so many seasons now where she just has the nagging injury
Mm-hmm.
with that foot, and um, let's hope we get to see her back in the next quad and
Someday.
back and healthy. Yeah, because she has so much to give.
Yeah.
And so with the absence of Rika, who, she likely knew she wasn't going to be competitive anyway, kind of given what would have been watered down technical content. This regionals was very competitive. Five names you're probably very familiar with. Rion Sumiyoshi winning that one. Her brilliant season continues. 200.83 was her
Wow.
winning score.
That's close to what she
Um,
scored at Lombardia. I think
yeah,
she got a 200,
exactly.
209 there.
209.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she keeps going 200 plus, and that's going to be really good for her.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a few mistakes here and there, a couple of unders. She fell again on her quad toe, which was a
Mm-hmm.
downgrade. I'm just kind of like, let's take out the quad toe.
Do it in the gala. Or not. Or
Yeah,
not.
do it in the
Or
gala,
not.
or not. Just focus on doing two clean two
Yeah.
clean programs and get that quad toe out of the way. I don't know. It
I
was a
don't know.
thing.
I feel like the Japanese Federation, I mean, a lot of federations, but Japan in particular, they really like that kind of feather in your cap of having this one really high power element. Like we saw Mana Kawabe last Olympic season with the triple axel. She was hitting it so consistently, and it was like, you're going to be on the Olympic team because you have this triple axel. And I think having that quad toe, it sort of sets her apart. And maybe she feels like
Right.
she needs that little extra.
It's like you got to land it though,
Yeah.
and rotate it. It's been really it's
Mm-hmm.
her hit rate with rotating that jump has been fairly low.
Mm.
But continues. Rion Sumiyoshi continues her strong season with a win at Tokyo Regionals, and then the next four again. You will recognize all these names: Ami Nakai 192.09, Yuna Aoki 181.45. Manakawabe, you just talked
Mm-hmm.
about 181.18, so very close between her and Yuna. And then Rika Watanabe 173.22, which was not at all what she was looking to do,
Mm-hmm.
especially given she had such a strong start to her season. Again, kind of not a surprise given the history of Rinka Watanabe's kind
Mm-hmm.
of up and down performances. We've seen her not do well in the domestic competitions and then kind of turn it on for the international. So, um,
Yeah.
that's where we went with Tokyo Regionals there. And then I didn't talk about the men yet, right? The men,
Mm.
Shunsato wins that one, 244.10. Nozomu Yoshioka was second. Kao Miura was third. Kao Miura was 219.62. And then Sena Miyake was fourth, 217.68. So struggles for Kao Miura continue.
I
He's
feel like,
continuing to show signs, but
yeah,
can't
I
get
feel like
can't
he's
get the program
competed
together.
every week for the past month.
Too much.
Like, just
I
take a
mean,
weekend off and just,
especially
go to
given
the
that he's
pool.
recovering. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Recovering from injury, right? Like, just
Yeah.
give yourself a break, and
Mhm.
hopefully he does after this competition.
Mhm.
But Shun Sato, also sort of recovering from injury, did land his quad lutz in the short, and then
Good
the
for
free
him.
skate was a little bit less of a success for him there. But still, a win's a win, and
Mhm.
they all go on to sectionals after that. All right, so that was the week of September 15th to 21st for News of the Week.